I won't prolong this. I want to thank everyone. I won't go through that again. I'd just like to say I associate myself with the Chairman's remarks about the President's budget as relates to the Coast Guard. And I'm going to say to the Admiral, although I know this is a difficult situation, but we once had a colleague named Mike Parker. And Mike was a Democrat turned Republican, and in the Bush administration, they made him Assistant Secretary over the Corps of Engineers. And he came before us for one of these budget hearings, and I looked at the proposed budget. I reminded him that they had a $45 billion, critical asset backlog. And I said, is this budget adequate to meet the needs of your agency, the Corps of Engineers in the United States of America? And he said, no, absolutely not. Now, that's the positive side, because I always try and get people who have that jurisdiction to tell us like it is. The downside was a week later he resigned because of family issues. Now, so I'm not going to ask you to be quite that candid, Admiral, but I've got to observe when Congress orders you to produce a list of priorities that are unmet and you come up with 4 things, I don't buy it. And I think you're being a little too much of a good soldier here, not to call a coastie a soldier, but in terms of, it's not the way the Pentagon works, I'll tell you that. They make their needs that are unmet in the budget known in a million different ways. I was just at Coast Guard Station Newport. Beautiful. They do their own work. You don't find that on other military bases. They bring in contractors. You are the most frugal of the services, and you're critical. And you're absolutely critical on a day-to-day basis for the American people and something they see anybody who has access to the water or the coast in saving lives. And, we have to figure out a way to get you adequate resources to meet all your national security obligations, which have grown dramatically post 9/11, but also to meet your day-to-day obligations in terms of life-saving. And some of the cuts that were proposed this last year, like cutting my Coast Guard my Coast Guard air station in Newport, which does half the rescues on the Oregon coast in water that never gets warm, where you're dead in half an hour, is not a place to be cutting. And we've got to find a way around this, and part of it has got to be you, as much as possible within your chain of command from the White House, being candid with us about your needs. And with that, I yield back the balance of my time.
Thank the gentleman, and thank the gentleman for being here, too.